Hey guys, what's up? It's Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 12 books for summer reading. I know that it's July and we're halfway through the summer, but there is never a bad time to pick up a good summer read. You never know when you're gonna be by the pool, at the beach, or on a car ride for the next month and a half that we have left. And these are some of my favorite books to read in the summer. I'm a huge mood and season reader. If books take place in the summer, I'm most likely not gonna read them anytime from October through April. I won't read a summer romance book just because it doesn't fit my mood. So they're not all romance, so don't worry. I know some people just don't love romance. Could not be me. There definitely are quite a few summer romance books in here, but I also have a mystery slash thriller, and then I have a couple general fiction. These aren't in order of worst to best. I'm just gonna grab them and show them to you guys. So let's go. So my first two books in this recommendation actually come from a series, and it has 3 books in it, but one of them just doesn't fit this category. The first book that I'm going to recommend to you guys is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This is the first book in the Love and Gelato trilogy. There is Love and Gelato, Love and Luck, and Love and Olives. Love and Luck is not in this summer reading recommendation, even though I did read them all this summer. I just didn't get the summery vibes from Love and Luck. It gave me more fall vibes. I don't know if it's because it was super rainy and just kind of dreary because it was in Ireland, but this one is a winner. This is actually a movie now on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but I do plan to. This is just such an easy, quick, fun book. I wouldn't even call it, honestly, a romance, even though it's called Love and Gelato. There is some romance in it, but I didn't particularly enjoy the romance part of it. I like the more fictional part of it, just the world. So this takes place in Tuscany, Italy. Our main character's name is Lena, and before her mother passes away, she asks her to go and live in Italy, or just go spend time mainly in Italy with her father, who she has never met. And she's like, "You are crazy, I'm not doing that." But her mom just keeps pushing and pushing for it, and before she dies, and so Lena goes. And she's at this place, living in this strange place. Let me tell you, once you read it, you'll understand. And she's just feels so lost and confused because she has no idea who this man is. And then she acquires one of her mother's old journals from when she lived in Italy, and she kind of lives vicariously through that journal and goes and visits all the places that her mother wrote about. And it's so cute to see the mother-daughter comparison. This author also does such a great job of describing all these places in Italy that I actually found myself looking up the places as I was reading it and after I read it, and I was like, wow, that's actually how I imagined it. I'm a huge sucker for any American going to any place in Europe and finding themselves. I think it's so cute. Again, didn't enjoy the romance aspect of it, but the rest of it was beautiful. Okay, the next book is actually the third book in that series, and that is Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Welch. So this book is about Liv, and again, she goes to visit her father in now Greece, but she actually knows her father. Her father was there up until she was about 8 years old. She hasn't seen him in 8 years, and randomly he sends for her and asks her to come visit him in Greece. And she's like, "Mom, I ain't going. I do not want to go." And her mom's like, "Oh, you're going." So she goes, and the thing about her father is he is obsessed with the lost city of Atlantis, and he is convinced that it's real. And he told her that he has finally found it, and that's the connection that they had when she was younger, was over Atlantis. And she kind of thinks her dad's crazy and doesn't believe in him, but she's still there. And again, author does such a beautiful job of describing these places that just makes you want to go so bad, and that's why it's such a good summer book. I was sitting by the pool reading this, and I was just imagining, in my head, I was in Greece. You couldn't tell me anything different. There is some romance in this book as well. I actually really enjoyed the romance that was in this one. I loved Liv, this character, because she's extremely independent and she's extremely strong, and I just thought her character development was beautiful. Relationship that built between her and her dad was amazing, and I loved it. I gave this one 5 stars. I thought it was just beautiful. So yeah. Next place, also an abroad novel, but that is One Italian Summer by Rebecca Shirley. I cannot express to you how much I love this book. I read this book this past March or April, and it is such a huge life lesson book. It came at a time where I really needed it. This book is about Katie, and she's a little bit older. She's married. She's in her, I think she's in her 30s or something like that, maybe her 40s, and her mom is her best friend. and her mother suddenly passes away. But before that, they had planned this big trip to Italy because they always went on trips together. But her mother passed away, and so she was like, I'm not going on this trip. My mom just passed away. But after further thought and further turmoil in her life and her marriage, she's like, you know what? No, I am taking this trip. And she gets there, and her world is flipped upside down. She runs into her mother in Italy, and she's like, what the hell is going on? And it takes place in a small town. What's it called? Positano, if I'm pronouncing that incorrect, which I most likely am. And it also takes place in a hotel that actually exists in this strip of Italy. This one, I could not understand what was happening, like what the twist was gonna be. And so that's why I really loved it. And I ended up giving it 5 stars. So check her out. Next book, I mean, it can't be a summer reading recommendation without Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It connects the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo into this book very loosely. It is about Mick Riva's children, which is one of Evelyn's husbands in the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That's how it connects. But besides that, not really anything else. But as you can tell, it takes place in Malibu, and it takes place over the course of like, I think, gosh, less than 20 hours. They throw this huge party in the summer at the oldest sister's house in Malibu. They've grown up in Malibu their entire lives, have lived in this little town their entire lives. And it, is so much on the water, so based in the culture of Malibu. And all of them surf. You see them growing up. It's dual timeline, so you see them when they're younger, learning to surf, first surfing, and now older, how it's like their outlet. And it's so cool to see those comparisons. Also just gives you the viewpoint of so many of the kids. There's 4 of them, and how they've all dealt with being a Riva differently. It's really a whole lot about family and how nothing's perfect, even though it seems like that. And it's just, if you've read any of Taylor Jenkins Reid books, you're gonna like this one. But I mean, you can't have summer without Malibu Rising. Okay, now we have our first mystery/thriller book, and that is The Lake by Natasha Preston. I randomly picked this up at Walmart. God, I don't even know how long ago it was. I read this forever ago. Even though I love a good romance or fiction during summer, because that's just what kind of gives, a good summer thriller is, I mean, it's pretty good. This one follows Esme and Kayla, who were campers at this camp on the lake many, many years ago, and something happened one night and they haven't been back since until now, where there are now counselors, and they're like, you know what happened so long ago, no one remembers, nothing happened, blah, 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 we'll be fine. Well, they're there and they start getting threats and messages and all these things from somebody who knows what happened and is basically threatening them in the camp. So they're trying to find out who this person is while also hiding whatever they're leaving for the other campers to see and keeping the campers safe. It ended a lot differently than I thought it was gonna be. If you want like kind of a creepy summer camp story, this is the girl for you. Next, we have a duology. This is a very split duology in the book community, and that is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I'm sure you have all seen this at this point. This one, I don't even know how to categorize it because it's not a romance. It's not really fiction. It's a little bit mystery/thriller. I would say more of a mystery fiction kind of thing, okay? This book is about the Sinclair family, mainly Ket. So her grandfather basically owns this island that her family has been going to every summer since her mother and aunts were children. She had an accident that led to a really bad brain injury last summer, and she can't remember what happened, and no one will tell her what happened. Now here's why it's very split, because some people say they knew right away what the plot twist was going to be, and then some people had no idea what the plot twist was. I was the person over here. I had no idea what was going to happen, and my jaw actually dropped. Something happened and I thought it was a plot twist, and I was like, oh my god. And then it just kept going, and then it was another twist. I was like, I couldn't picture it. Maybe I'm just dumb. I know a lot of people who, even if they guessed it, they said it was still a good book. Still worth the read in my opinion. Then we have Family of Liars, also by E. Lockhart. This is the book for the parents when they were kids. This one follows the parents and what happened to them when they were kids, when they were on the island. It is a little bit, I don't know if it's darker. I still think it's still kind of dark. It just shows how, again, family life isn't as perfect as it may seem to the outside eye. They're full of secrets and they are liars, that is for sure. I would think you would read this one and then this one, but no. Read We Were Liars and then Family of Liars, because if you read this one first, This book will be spoiled literally in the first line. Next, again, a super popular summer read, but we cannot not mention it, and that is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. The main characters are Poppy and Alex. Is a best friends to lovers. What happens in this book, Poppy and Alex, they're best friends. They go on all these vacations all the time. And then one year, I think it's like 2 years ago, something happened between the two of them and they have not talked since. And Poppy randomly one day now just texts Alex and says, hey, let's go on this vacation together. It's very out of the blue. There's really no reason to it. And he accepts. And they go on this vacation and it's a dual timeline and it goes back from when they were younger, when they met in college until now. It keeps going back and forth until you finally meet in the middle and find out why they didn't talk for so long. It's just a cute, really easy contemporary romance to read when you're on the beach or something like that. So, recommend. Then, also by Emily Henry, this is the superior of the two. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. I talked about it in my last video. Beach read, Emily Henry. This book is about January and Gus, and they were college rivals. Both writers, they've always both wanted to be authors, and now they both are authors. January writes romance, and Augustus writes like sci-fi or fantasy, something around those lines. January is, I believe her dad either passes away or something happens where she has to go and clean out his cabin. Also, it takes place in a little small town in Michigan, so that's why it's superior. All my books just fell. Anyways, so she has to go and clean this out, and when she gets there, who has the cabin next to hers? Gus. And they see each other and they're talking, and they basically come up with this bet that the other person cannot write their genre. Now they each have to write a novel in the other person's genre. So what they do is they go on these little adventures, dates. They take them to places that would help the other inspire them to write a novel. It's just super cute. I honestly want to reread it because I don't remember much of what happened, so I might again reread this before the end of the summer. But if you're going to read any of these books, if you haven't already read this book. Or if you have read it, reread it, because come on, it was good. And you know it. Okay, I have my last couple books for this recommendation video. And it will come to no surprise to most people who are readers, because I cannot talk about summer books and not talk about the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. I'm gonna talk about the first one, the Summer I Turned Pretty, because it's not summer without you and we'll always have summer. I can't describe these to you or else it will completely ruin the entire series for you. But this is just such an easy, quick series to get through. And these are perfect to take to the beach or on any vacation, because these, like, you'll just eat these up laying on the beach. So basically this series follows Belly, and Belly has a brother and her mother, and they go to Cousin's Beach and they stay at her mom's best friend's beach house like every summer since she's been born. And her mom's best friend has two sons around Belly's age, a little bit older, named Jeremiah and Conrad. Basically, Belly has been in love with Conrad her entire life, and Jeremiah has basically been in love with Belly his entire life, and Conrad's feelings are so wishy-washy, even he doesn't really know half the time what he's feeling. So let me just tell you, this series is so cute. Read it. Read it. Please read it. Okay guys, so those were my top 12 book recs for the summer. You still have time to go out and get some of these books and read them before the summer ends. Let me know if you like this video by giving a big thumbs up, commenting down below either which one of these you're super excited to read or what your favorite summer book is. And again, if you like this sort of video recommending you books based on the season, let me know, because I already have a list going of books that I really love for the fall time, and they're not all mysteries and thrillers. If you guys want me to do that one once like September, October hits, let me know down below. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one.